The race is on to get the garden planted. Hi everybody, welcome to Living Traditions Homestead. This is Sarah and Kevin, and we have taken you along on our journey this spring where we have completely redesigned our garden and how we do things. We switched from back to Eden gardening-ish to tilling up and putting down woven fabric for weed prevention. Today it's a beautiful day, and so we have a lot to get accomplished. We thought we would bring you along on this next step. Actually, Kevin's already put in the drip system too, the irrigation system. So the next step is to put in more of the trellises that we had taken out so that we could do the setup portion. So today Kevin's going to be working on that. I am going to be weeding out 4 of these raised beds that we have here, just general weeding, and I have a lot of planting to do in there. We also have the big electric netting fence that goes around our whole garden area. We need to get that up and going so that the rabbits and those kinds of things can't get in and eat everything that we've planted and destroy all of our hard work. And that's kind of just what we have going on today. We thought you could come along.
I've got probably about 30 or 40 T-posts to put back in that I ripped out before we laid down this fabric. So I thought I'd show you guys how we set up trellises. That's where we'll grow our cucumbers, our butternut squash.
Lots of things. Pumpkins. We'll tie up our
pumpkins, not big pumpkins.
Yeah, pie pumpkins. We'll tie up our tomato plants to them. We'll support our pepper plants. We've got a lot of things going on with them. Yeah.
And the trellises really help. We use field fencing and T-posts as trellises, and it works really well. So we've got a long day of work ahead of us. On top of that, it's Friday, which means this is also our day to get ready for the farmers market, which we worked on getting some of that stuff ready this morning, but we still need to load the trailer with all the plants and everything this evening. So we got a long day ahead of us, but we thought we'd bring you guys along as we get some of this work done today. So enough talking, let's get to work. All right, so the first thing I need to do in order to start putting these trellises back up is to make holes in our weed paper so that I can have a place to put the T-posts through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my weed burner, and this isn't my original idea. I've seen other people do it and it seems to work pretty well. So what I'll do is I'll light this, and I'm going to let it heat up for a little while until the metal gets good and hot, and then I'll be able to use this to go through and melt a hole every 8 feet, and that's where my T-posts will go. By melting it, you stop the weed paper from unraveling, so that's better than cutting an X or something with a knife. You know, this kind of seals it all up and makes sure it doesn't unravel. So we're going to let this heat up for just a minute, and then we'll get started making our holes every 8 feet all the way down the row. Alright, so now that it's heated up, I'll turn it to the lowest setting so there's still a little bit of a flame just so the metal stays warm, and then I'll just start putting a hole right down in the middle of the weed paper. There we go, that row is done. Not only does that make a nice hole, it also gives me proper spacing for my T-posts. Now I can go ahead and just start driving those in. Or did Sarah say she was gonna use the post driver this time and hammer in all the posts?
No.
Oh, I guess that's still my job. So that's the next step in this process. I think Sarah's gonna get busy weeding some of those raised beds.
So I have 4 raised beds to weed over here. This first raised bed we already planted half of with onions, and we're saving the other half for sweet potatoes. We're gonna get sweet potato slips when we're at Baker Creek this weekend, so early next week I'll be planting those. The next raised bed over has our potatoes already planted in it, and there's a little bit of extra space. I'm going to squeeze in some cabbage plants and see if, even though it's a little bit late in the season, if we can get some cabbages out of it. The next garden after that, we are going to plant half with kohlrabi, and the other half is kind of up in the air. We haven't decided yet. And then the very last raised bed garden is one of my herb gardens. So I need to get started because I'm hoping to actually get some things planted and not just weeded.
So while Sarah was weeding those raised beds, which are now done, awesome, I was able to put in all of the T-posts. So we have 5 rows of T-posts in. I put T-posts every 8 feet. So now we'll be able to start putting up our trellises. It's starting to get kind of late in the day, and we need to still pack up for the farmer's market in the morning. So the goal for today is just to get this first one in, or first one put up, and then still put up our electric netting around the garden today. So we're going to get started on that now. Alright, so I'm just attaching the fence to the T-post just with your standard T-post clip. These are the same ones that I took off just about a week ago when I took all these T-posts out, so now I'm putting them back on. And if you don't know how these work, you just put one end over like this. It goes around the T-post, and then this end you just twist around the wire. I just have a little thing here, I don't know what it's for, like tightening a wash line or something, but it seems to work well, and it just helps push that over the, tighten it on the wire. That's it. We'll just do that on all of them. I'm gonna put 3 on each pole, and that should be plenty to hold it up for these plants. Alright, so down on this end, I just took one of these cheap thin T-posts, ran it through the edge of the fence, and then attach it to my come along here, and attach it to the bucket of my tractor. That way I can pull the fence tight along all the T-posts. And then I didn't remember exactly how long the fences were, so I didn't put in this final T-post yet. Now that I have it stretched tight, I can mark where that goes, and then we can attach that. We can put in that final T-post. So that's it. Pretty simple, but it makes a nice straight fence for growing the veggies. Alright, so this one is all up. I think it turned out nice. Nice and tight, plenty tight to hold up the plants that we're going to be growing here. And now the last thing to do on this project for today is to put up the electric netting to start keeping the rabbits and other things like that out of here. So we're going to go ahead and get that done, and then we're going to take a quick break for dinner. Then we're going to get back to loading up for the farmer's market, and then I'm hoping that tomorrow when we get done with the farmer's market, we'll be able to finish and put up the rest of these fences for the trellises. So alright, so this is the fencing that we use around the garden. We have 2 rolls of this. I don't remember exactly how long each roll is. I want to say like 160 feet or something like that, but these are from Premier One. This is what we used last year, and it kept, as far as we know, all the rabbits and everything else out of the garden. So we're hoping it's going to work just as well again this year. You know, we're going to get it up. We're going to, already have a charger. We're close enough to our chicken coop that this one can be an electric charger. So it's attached to the side of the chicken coop, and then here's the wire that runs up and connects to the fence. So we're just going to get setting this up, and we're going to go all the way around we're going to go all the way around our big garden here, and 1, 2, 3, 4 of these raised beds over here next to me.
Okay, so we have the entire electric fence up. You can see it goes all the way around the big in-ground garden, and then all around these 4 raised bed gardens, and actually made it around our brand new little plum tree that we planted earlier in the spring. So you guys, this is all we can do out here tonight. Like Kevin said, we still actually have to pack up the trailer and get some last minute things ready for the farmer's market tomorrow. This is just one of the many things that we worked on today, so we're exhausted. Time for dinner and the rest of our evening.
Right. So we're gonna have a busy day again tomorrow, farmer's market, and then back here to work in the garden. But then after that, on Sunday and Monday is the Baker Creek Spring Planting Festival, and we're going to be there both days, Sunday and Monday, and we really are excited to meet some of you guys. I know you're going to be coming from all over to attend and hopefully buy some plants and see the speakers, and it's always a good time, and we're going to just take that time to kind of enjoy ourselves and get off the homestead for a couple days and hopefully relax.
Don't forget about our contest.
Oh, that's right. Don't forget about our contest at the May Festival. We'll be handing out business cards with numbers written on them, and then after the festival we'll be drawing a winner for some great prizes. I'll leave a link to the video up here where we let you know what the prizes are.
So you guys, thanks so much for joining us today on the homestead. If you are not a subscriber yet, right now is a perfect time for you to hit the subscribe button below. And until next time, you guys, take care and God bless.
God bless.